Hello, everybody. This is Justin Watson here at Just in Time. I'm going to be talking on the topic of the housing market, so let's talk about it. Okay, I'm doing these lives on Facebook Live currently. And these videos are designed to break down my lives into small morsels so that you can get what you need. Always remember this: I am not your financial advisor. I am a crypto financial enthusiast. And the information that I'm giving you is for you to take it and apply it to your life to see what works for you. This information is based off of my experience and based off of the people that I follow and based off of my relationships that has helped me, and it should help you. There will be some content that I will not be able to share here that eventually we will have to have the dreaded you have to subscribe for you to get that information, just being honest. So I'm learning as well as you are learning. So as much information that I can give here, I'm going to. But there is going to come a day you got to subscribe for that stuff, okay? But I'm going to do everything that I can like I've been doing for the past 20 years, okay? That's not 20, 14 years. So 14 years. So here we go. So let's talk about this housing market, okay? So the housing market, guys, is projected. Okay, so I'm going to pull this up on the screen for you guys so you can kind of read along as well as I'm going. JP Morgan is one of the people that I typically follow information on, based off of their website. Okay, they're saying the housing market outlook for 2025. Okay, the reason why I'm talking about the housing market is because, as you guys have noticed, if you follow me on any type of my platform, I have posted a lot of businesses closing. So just because businesses are closing doesn't mean things are just all bad and gloom and doom. It's called a reset. That sometimes it's called we have too much of something and we need to get rid of something, back it off or whatever. And this is called microeconomics, business 101, things of that nature. Everybody won't understand that. So what I'm trying to do is put this into layman's terms so that the everyday person can kind of understand what's going on in today's world so that you can make some decisions. Okay. So the housing market in 2025, the existing home sales and inventory has remained low literally for about a year now. Okay, after COVID, and we saw the spike in the in the house prices. My Lord Jesus, because I even got in on it twice. Okay, so that's why I was telling people. I told all the people, all my clients, if you was ready to sell, now is the time to sell. Take that money and diversify it. Okay, people think buying a house. And I'm just giving you my opinion. Buying a house is the best investment and the best way for you to make money. I personally don't believe that. I personally believe, yes, it's one way that you can do and diversify your portfolio and your funds. However, owning a home in the housing market, it just takes it longer for you to recoup your ROI in return on your investment and or to obtain liquidity or leverage if you need to, depending on how much money you have invested into that property. So typically a bank will look at you, if you own, I think you have to have over 20% of it paid off before they even give you an equity line of credit. Just saying. And most people don't stay in a house long enough for that to even matter. On average, I tell people if you're going to stay at a location for 5 years or more, buy. If not, rent. Okay. Talk about that a little later on. The housing market supplies is tight, and this is a buyer's market. Okay. What that means is if you are wanting to buy, the seller is pretty much going to almost do what you ask them to do if they have to sell it, okay? Because still we are still in a time where the inventory is light. But however, you may not have to sell. You just want to sell based off of, hey, you see you can get top dollar more money than you could 5-10 years ago. So you're like, hey, might as well go ahead and get in it. But you also have to take into consideration there's not a lot of inventory, and that there's not a lot of people who qualify currently to buy a house, because the national average right now is a little over $100,000 for a household, for you to have what they call suitable housing. Not for you to own a home, but they call suitable, where you're not like stressed out in debt and all that. But well, you're gonna be in debt when you own a house, but stressed out about the situation. So when we talk about the existing homes for sale has reverted to a more normalized levels, what they're saying is before COVID, okay, we're kind of going back to where we were pre-COVID, but it doesn't feel. This feels like we're like about to go into like this great recession that we never seen before, which they're projecting we are. But currently, we are exactly kind of where we were at before COVID. Okay. So let's not get too shaky right now. Okay. Not right now. But we need to make adjustments. And I'm telling my people who are my clients, things of that nature, if they ask me, do I need to buy right now? That's what I'm doing. Because the interest rates are still kind of high. 6.7% is what they're trying to get it to on average for everybody. But it was 3 at one time. Okay. When COVID was at its peak and people was buying and 3%. And what I tell people, typically 1% on interest is $400 a month. Okay, $400 to $500 a month. So basically, right now you're paying about $1,200 to $1,500 more a month just because of interest right now. Just saying. So I'm not a fan of currently buying unless you're planning on being there for at least 5 years. If you're not planning on being there for at least 5 years, no, don't do it at all. Don't even think about it. If you're going to be there for a little bit longer, you can, but just you got to make sure you do all your due diligence, and you need to contact us here at Just in Time, where we have licensed realtors here that can help you navigate as I smile. Okay. Our realtor, I believe, is licensed in 2 or 3 states, Tennessee, Georgia, and I think Arkansas, but I know Tennessee and Georgia. So if you are watching me in Tennessee and Georgia, you need a realtor, give us a call. But anyway, back to it. New homes for sale are at, and see, the reason why I have this up here, because you guys can be reading as I'm talking, because I can multitask. Everybody can't. New homes for sale are at 481,000. That's the highest level since 2007. And that's the last time we had a market crash or anything was 2007, 2008. Boy, don't I remember that. Ooh, that's when I go, uh-oh, I lost my behind. I had a house. So 2007, 2008, it was 285,000, which was 100,000 less in 2008. So again, guys, we are where we were at basically almost, pre-pandemic. Okay. So yes, it's alarming. We need to pay attention. These metrics are roughly 50-40% respectively. Supply should be less of a support for the housing market in 2025. Nationally, single-family existing homes for sale are up roughly 20% year over year, but the normal remains near record lows, around 20 to 30 below prior thoughts. So the reason why the economy is feeling what it's feeling, they didn't predict this. Okay, that's the difference. We're not nowhere where we was. We're nowhere different than where we were before, but this is not where we thought we were going to be. That's the problem, okay? So we wasn't prepared for this. Multifamily construction, so that's going to be like apartments, things of that nature. So they're saying those numbers have kind of leveled off. But as you can see, over in 2024, it's still higher than it was in 2012, okay? So rent, buddy. People going to have to do a lot of rent here in a little bit. The housing market demand is seriously suppressed by the interest rates. Like I was saying earlier, when the interest rates were lower, people were able to buy because you're paying $1,200 to $1,500 on average more right now a month to own a home. So in my mind, it just doesn't make mathematical sense to do something unless A, you're doing it as an investment. That means you're going to flip it, and or you're going to be there for a longer period of time. And that means you have a decent sized down payment. Okay. Everybody's like, oh, you can get an FHA or you can get a conventional loan, you have 5%. Yes, that gets you in the house, but my goodness, you're going to be paying for 5 or 10 years just basically almost only on interest. So it's kind of like you're wasting money, but people look at rent as wasting money. What's the difference in my eyes? If I can find a place, yeah, I may pay a little bit more to be there, but I don't have to worry about insurance. I don't have to worry about taxes. I don't have to worry about, a lot of the things that go into owning a home. Something tears up, break, you got to pay for it. As you rent, that doesn't happen. So if you can't have more than 5% down payment, I think you may need to rent until you have at least 20%. I'm just a stickler. I believe you need to have 20% down for you to purchase a home. That's when it's a great investment. Okay. Not this 3.5%, 5%, because you have a lot of people who are going to be paying 2 to 3 times more than what the house is worth. You do the math. You have a house, $2,000 a month. That's $24,000 a year. Most people finance a house for 30 years. You do the math. That's $720,000 in 30 years that you pay for a house. And $2,000 a month right now is about $250,000 house on average. Okay. As my eyes open that big, did you not see that? Almost 3 times the amount that you're going to wind up paying by doing that. Now, if you put 20% down, that's going to be $50,000 on a $250,000 house. That's $50,000. Then you're only financing $200,000. Okay, so you're saving $50,000 on the front end versus on the back end. So that $2,400 a month would drop down to roughly 17, 16, maybe $1,400 a month. Okay, so you do the math. So if you drop your payment from $2,000 to $1,500, let's make simple numbers, $1,500 a month, that is $24,000 a month has dropped down to, I can't even do the math in my head, $18,000. Okay, that's $6,000 a year savings. It's gonna save you $180,000 by putting 50 down. Do you see the math? Remember, 1 + 1 = 2. Does that make sense? 1 + 1 = 2. Next, as we're talking about the housing market, it says the housing market, and this is from Newsweek, they're predicting after U.S. job loss, what they're predicting, because the job losses are happening. People think, oh, okay. American job growth slowed down in January after 3 months of gains, okay? That's what it's saying. Okay, so why does this matter? A strong housing and job market means lower unemployment rates, okay? That's what that typically means. Lower unemployment rates are generally linked to increased housing demand as workers have more home buying power. If people not working, do the math. While the job market has been strong in the past few years, the unemployment is low. Home prices appreciate faster than wages. We see that, don't we? We see that especially in food. Hello. I mean, we went to Checkers today, one of my employees, and spent $12 for one meal. I can't do that. And it's junk. $12, I don't want to do that. According to January job report, wages are now rising faster than inflation. Lies. The average hourly earning is up by 4.1. I don't know where they're getting this lie from. 4.1% year over year. In December, headline inflation was 2.9%. 2.9%. Where they get them lying numbers from? They said that's in a nutshell is three. We're just gonna make it simple numbers, 4 and 3%. So technically, what they're saying is that inflation went up 3%. So for every dollar, 3 pennies. Do you see that? And they talking about eggs, $12 a dozen, $6 a dozen. Come on, y'all, $5 a dozen. Bread, $3.99. 3%, 3 cents. Lies. You want to believe that if you want to. And then they saying that the hourly rate went up 4.1%. So basically for every $10, that is 40 cents increase. Okay. No, that's not 40 cents. Yeah, it is. That 40 cents. Yeah, that's 40 cent increase. No, that's not. I can't add. That's 4 cents. 4 cents. Did I do that right? Or is that 40 cents? Let me do the math. I'm trying to use my brain sometimes, and technology has caused my brain to go to sleep. So basically 4% is 40 cents. So I did do it right. So basically if you're making $10 an hour, you're making $10.40 now. So you do 40 cents times 40 hours. That's $16. So basically, if you're making $10 an hour, they're saying your rate went up by $16 a week. And you do that by year, that's only $832, which is $69 a month on average if you're making $10 an hour. So for every $10, you should be getting an extra $69 a month. How you going to buy a house with 4%? Just saying. In January, the economy added 143,000 jobs. But people saying they can't find one. An expectation for additional jobs is 170,000. At the same time, unemployment rate dipped to the lowest level since May of 2024. The number of unemployed declined by 35,000, bringing the unemployment rate down 4%. And this is what they're trying to do. They want the unemployment rate to be in the threes. Once the unemployment rate gets in the threes, they'll start dropping the interest rates. Just saying. Just saying. Okay? Just saying. Home sales hit a 30-year low. Market faces affordable crisis. According to the National Association of Realtors, existing home sales have dropped to 4.6 million in 2024, hitting its lowest level in 30 years. I told people, and I'm telling people all the time, last year was just a horrible year for business. If you were even an individual, okay? So it is at a 30-year low, okay? And they say we're not going into a recession. Lies, okay? Lies. I wanted y'all to see that. Okay? And then another thing that people are not taking into consideration is what it takes to buy a home, okay? They're not taking that into consideration. What it takes to buy a home. It's more to it than just say I got a job. There's steps that go into, purchasing a home. Look at that. How to buy a house in 12 steps. Got step by step. Okay. I'm going to break it down for you. Not today in this video, but we're going to break it down for you. Okay. And teach you guys how to do step by step by step. And these are the steps into purchasing a home. Okay. Like I said, I wanted to, I'm going to, look, I got people's names on here and stuff. How did I edit this stuff out of here? Let me do it that way. Boom, there we go. So I just want to make sure people see personal information not on there. So see if you meet the requirements to buy a house. Calculate how much you can spend on a house. Save for a down payment, like I said earlier. Not no 3-5%. We're not talking about you. We need to be talking about at least 20%. Decide what type of mortgage is right for you. That's FHA, VA, conventional. And then they have programs for new home buyers, so first-time home buyers. Get pre-approved. Pre-approved is not pre-qualified. It's not the same. Two different names. They said that words have meaning. They do. If you go to the bank or you go to a realtor and say, I'm pre-qualified, they just going to look at you. Because that means, hey, you are pre-qualified to get this amount of money. Pre-approved means you can get this amount of money, okay? You can. So how does that happen? That's what I'm saying. You got to know the lingo if you want to get a house. Find the right real estate agent for you. Don't you just want some people like us? We smile a lot. And we know what we do. And we have a track record. Okay, so you got to find a good agent, the one that knows the area, knows what you need. They're not just going to write an offer for you based off of what you think. They're going to do it based off of what's best for you, based off the market. Now, once we give you our professional opinion and you still insistent, that's on you. But we're not going to allow you just to pick anything. Make sure you're getting your inspections and all that stuff. How to make an offer. Or what it looks like to make an offer on a house. Begin the house hunting. Can't talk right now. Get a home inspection, like I said earlier. Getting a home appraisal. Ask for repairs or credits. Do a final walkthrough. Close on your house, and then we'll have a final buy-in, a house FAQs. This, my friend, you guys need to follow and watch this series, because once we break this thing down, you should be in position and ready to buy a house. Okay, because again, over the next couple of years, you want to be in position. You want to do that. Okay, if you haven't filed your taxes yet, don't until we get through this. I'm being honest. If you haven't filed your taxes for 2024, don't. Okay. Until you follow this or until you see this through. Go ahead and call your tax preparer. If you don't have one, give us a call here just in time, 888-505-8963, and we can file an extension for you, okay? If you're, look, we need to do a discount code or something. If you reach out to us and say you watch this on YouTube, we won't even charge you for the extension. How about that? But you must say you saw it on the video, and you must share it, and we can verify it and see it, okay? Just putting that out there for you. We would offer at no charge to you an extension, because guys, if you don't do this right, you're going to have to wait until 2026 to get your house. Just saying. If you do it right, no, 2027, sorry. If you do this right now, you should be able to purchase a house in 2026 without a problem. Okay? That's what I'm telling you. Just being honest. So, again, guys, this housing market is about to get crazy. Okay? Let me show you one more thing, and then I'm going to hop off of here. Show you, let me see if it's going to let me do it this way. I'm going to do it this way. I'm going to do housing market in Georgia, because that's where we are. And like I said, if you are within, if you brush up against Georgia, you can pretty much, hey, this other than Florida, because Florida is in they're in a world of their own. I'm sorry, Florida. If you're in Florida, I apologize. But I mean, it's a different thing down there. I'm sorry, this is doing this. There we go. There is a moderate increase and a steady demand for homes here in Georgia for 2025. Let me show you why. Atlanta. That's why. Okay. In January 2025, home prices in Atlanta increased for all bedroom types, with the largest increase for 3 to 5 bedrooms, because the price is going up. That's why I'm saying this. It's almost impossible for you to own a home right now. Okay, so don't focus on buying one right now. Focus on saving your money and getting your down payment together, is my opinion. Okay, Georgia, home prices are appreciating significantly over the past decade, or appreciate significantly over the past decade, reflecting consistent growth that surpasses the national average. Overall, experts anticipate a moderate increase in home prices in 2025. Home sales, the forecast for home sales will grow in 2025 by 5%. This is what they're projecting here in Georgia. Supply and demand, even though there are more homes for sale now than there were a year ago, it's still not enough to keep up with all the buyers. The local market, the housing market, is hyper-local, so price will vary by area. Hyper-local, like I said, Atlanta, popping. But you go to us rural areas, we're going back to the dip. There's going to be a major dip going on in the rural areas. It always hits the rural areas first, and then it comes to the big cities last, okay? Is that tight? Georgia housing market right now is up by 1.4% year over year. Currently, right now, on average, you're going to pay $324,674 for a home in Georgia, okay? So right now in Georgia, as the end of January, 44,160 houses was on the market in the state of Georgia. 8,732 was new listing. The median, that means that average house sale, the median house sold was 319,333, as you can see. 354,000 is the medium listing, so that's what they're listing for. So that means you're going to lose. If you list it for 354, you should get about 320. So it's like a $30,000 cut. We wasn't seeing that 3 years ago. There weren't no cuts. People was paying 30, 40,000 over. Okay, now people are cutting prices. See that? Percent of sale over list, 18.2%. That is a decrease. So what that means is selling over listing price. So if you list it for 350, it's an 18% chance that you're going to get more than 350. It used to be like 100% chance you're going to get over 350. Major decrease there. Percent of sales under sale price. Look at that. It's an increase. It's almost 60%. So it's basically a 60% chance you're going to get less than list price. So that's why you need to have a knowledgeable realtor like ourselves here Just in Time so that we can navigate, do a CMA, do what we need to do to make sure you have what you need when you go to list. If you decide to list, it's not the same anymore. You can't just list, hey, I'm going to list it. It ain't going to work because as you can see, it's a 58% chance you ain't going to get what you're asking for. Okay. Days on the market, 47 days. It used to be 2 and 3 and 4 days a week at max, and it was gone. Cities in Jefferson. It says cities in Jefferson. Cities in Georgia. Okay, these are your top little city on the median areas. Okay, and we'll talk about rent on another video. But I wanted to do a brief overview on what's happening in the housing market, so you guys can start paying attention. Start paying attention that things are changing. Change is here. Okay, so you need to start paying attention even more so. Okay, like I said, I have TikTok videos that I'm going to be putting on here because I was talking about this stuff back in 2022. 2025 is here. I said this was going to happen in 2025. It's here. So the housing market is changing. So if you want to sell, you better hurry up because before it's not looking good. Okay, it's not looking good. So you might want to go ahead and make those changes. If you're not going to sell, you need to figure out ways for you to make sure that that your asset is protected. So to make sure you have insurance on your house, okay? Because some people living in a house ain't got insurance. Okay. Make sure you have insurance on your house. Make sure you have enough coverage on your house. So again, you contact people like us here Just in Time. Whether you switch with us or not, we will look at your policy and make sure that you have what you need. We have done that for a lot of people. And after we do that, I was like, dude, you actually did that. You know what? Never mind. We won't go ahead and switch. Okay. Because we honestly care about people. We have multiple ways to help you and we have multiple things going on. So we're not trying to tear your mouth out on one thing. We don't have to do that. There's no need to tear your mouth out. We're here to help you. So if you allow us to help you, please let us help you. Okay. So that's what you have to do. Taxes, insurance, those are ways that you can save money during this time. Okay, guys? Always remember, I need you and you need me. Together we edify. Until the next time, Just in Time, where we strive to provide an experience. We'll see you soon.